What's up everyone, it's Diana Morgan here, bringing you guys another video. So today, we're going to be playing Blaze of Light and Shadow, Chapter 4. The forces of the Shadow Court have infiltrated the city. There's only one way out, by the sea. Okay. Hopefully this doesn't cut off. Hopefully this stays recording. And we don't have to restart the chapter. So this will have some diamond choices. I'm not going to choose every single one, but I'll try to do the majority, especially the major ones. Basically how I would normally play it, okay? So we're at Port Parnassus, and I believe we're going to the sea towards Flotilla. Escape at sea. You stare in shock at the mayor's dead body, blood pooling from his neck as his severed head rolls away. His men stagger to their feet, crossbows raised. Run! Running, definitely running. You grab Mal and Nia and tear off through the darkened streets of Port Parnassus. After the elf, Threep clings to your shoulder, and the city guards are hot on their heels. Stop, murderers! The elf sprints down narrow alleyways at breakneck speed, armor glinting in the moonlight. Soon, elegant buildings turn to rough wooden tenements. You end up on a narrow road deep into the city slums. Suddenly, a group of guards run around a corner ahead of you and aims their crossbows. Stop right there! This is your last chance. I'll throw crates at them. You can't get us if you can't see us. You grab two empty crates and lob them at the guards. The crates splinter in their faces, obscuring their view and making them stumble. Ag! Don't let them get away! Too late for that. The elf sends a flare of dark energy at the guards, blasting them off their feet. Oh wait, also is okay, good. As you and your companions dash past them, he nods at you. Good thinking. Hurry! We can hide inside here. You dash into an abandoned tenement building and run for the far wall, where you crouch in the shadows with your companions. Threep flutters his wings anxiously. As lovely as this abandoned slum is, we need to think of a more permanent solution. Shh! Someone's coming. Several sets of footsteps approach the tenement, and a figure blocks out the light in the doorway. He flinches as he yells out, "Keep searching the streets. I'll check the buildings." As the rest of the guards clatter away, this one takes a tentative step inside, raising his lantern high. You hold your breath, certain he can hear the thunder of your heart. But his light doesn't quite reach you. He turns and heads back out the alleyway. You wait for the guards' shouts to fade before whirling on their elf. So, your help is greatly appreciated and all, but who are you? You may call me Tyrell, of House Starfury. Yeah, wait, he's a furry? Oh, wait, no. Fury. Star Fury. Oh, that's great. A stuck-up elf noble. Who just saved your hides. That remains to be seen. A Nesper? How? I thought... Hey, we're asking the questions here. What in the three hells happened back there? Have you been following us? Tyrell glares at Mal before turning his attention to his blade, studying the edge for nicks. I've been hunting, seeking out those who've fallen under the influence of the Shadow Court. You know about the Shadow Court? He gives her a look that could wither roses. Don't be daft. Nia opens her mouth to snap at him, but he doesn't give her a chance. My hunt brought me to Port Parnassus, where I've been tailing the city's mayor. He was deeply corrupted. Okay, but why are you hunting the Shadow Court? I don't see why that should matter to you. I see every reason why it matters, since me and my companions are being hunted by them. In that case, you should be grateful that I killed that corrupted mayor for you. We share a common enemy. Is that not enough? There's no we here until you tell us exactly what you're after. Tyrell's hand clenches around the hilt of his blade, and he lets out a long, frustrated breath. Then he speaks again. His voice is still curt. My conflict with the Shadow Court is personal. I intend to right the wrongs they have dealt me as much as I can. That is all I will say. After a tense moment, Mal speaks up. So, this mayor was trying to frame us as murderers. Who was trying to frame us as murderers was under orders from the Shadow Court. He looked human, mostly. The boundaries between our worlds are thinning, weakening. The court uses the shards to reach out to the greedy, to the cruel, to the weak-minded. It seduces them to their will. So they have agents everywhere. Tyrell scowls as he resheaths his head blade. Not for long. The real question is, why is the Shadow Court after you? Who are you? And how did you come across a Nesper? You recount your entire journey to him. He watch at his expression growing, as his expression grows increasingly serious, which you wouldn't have thought possible. Which brings us to where we are now, on a quest to recover the remaining shards and bring them to White Tower for purification. It seems our journeys are linked then. Wherever the shards are, those under their influence are sure to be close by. I'll accompany you on your hunt for the shards, but I won't let you slow me down. Oh, that's wonderful. We could use some assistance, as you probably noticed. Hang on. Us? Slow you down? You're the one murdering your way across the realms. We just want the shards. Tyrell's hand rests menacingly on the hilt of his blade. Those too far consumed by the shadow's corruption have to die. They're already husks, puppets of darkness. I'm doing them a kindness. Not that I expect you to understand that. We need to be careful about who we trust. How do we know you're not working with the Shadow Court? Trying to win our trust just to betray us when the moment's right. I would never work for the Shadow Court. But if you truly won't take my word for it, why don't you ask your Nesper? Humph. I do have a name, you know. But the elf speaks truly. He's free of Shadow's corruptions. It's your decision, Zenolia. It's your brother whose fate hangs in the balance. Fine. We're not in a position to refuse honest help. Tyrell can join us. Mal lets out a weary sigh, running her hand through his hair. Great. Got one more teammate. The team's got one more member. But that'll be worth nothing if we don't get out of town and real quick. We're wanted murderers now. I can find us a smuggler, no problem. But for hot merchandise such as ourselves, it's gonna take a lot of coin. Tyrell shrugs and with a jingling of metal takes out a bulging pouch. Mal stares at it entranced. He starts to reach for it, but Tyrell pulls it back. Yeah, like that much coin. Actually, if you have another pouch like it, find us a safe passage out of here, scoundrel. Our lives depend on it. Surely that's worth something, even to you. We're stuck with you, aren't we? For now. Well, here we go. We got another companion to our group. We got a mage. We got a priestess, a mage, and a thief. Or something like that. You spend the night hiding out in the abandoned building, lying low as guards comb the streets outside. And the next morning, when the coast is clear, Mal leads you to a rickety-looking ship on a secluded dock. An old sailor approaches. Gerhard, you old salty cod. It's been far too long. Not long enough. You aren't bringing me more trouble, are you? Pfft. I would never. Just a few friends of mine need a safe passage from the Sun Maiden is all. On the Sun Maiden is all. Gerhard's gaze darts suspiciously from Tyrell standing with his arms crossed haughtily, to Nia gaping around at the ship, to you. Who exactly are you? Who exactly are you lot? We're these options, man. We're all yours, hot stuff. God. I just can't resist a man with a nice, firm, schooner. Carrots, targets. I think you're swimming up the wrong stream, Mal. What in the hell are you trying to pull this time? Nothing. I swear, you'll just have to ignore Zenolia. She likes to get an early start on her day drinking. Gerhard continues to glare at you, and you smile back as winningly as you can. Fine, I'll take you lot. But if they cause any trouble, it's on you. Mal grimaces and hands over the heavy pouch of gold. That's more like it. To the Shimmering Isles, mates. What? We're heading for the Flotilla, not some... Gerhard turns on her with a scowl. Flotilla, the Orc Pirate City. You're out of your mind, young lady. Only a madman would head for Flotilla on purpose. But that's where we need to go. We're going to Flotilla. All you have to do is drop us off and be on your way. We gave you more than enough gold for that. Last I checked, I was the captain on the ship, so the decisions are mine. No use having gold if I'm dead to use it. Too dead to use it. You don't understand. Getting to Flotilla is a matter of life and death for us. Mal steps in front of you, and Nia, an anxious grin plastered to his face. The Shimmering Isles will do just fine, Captain. We'll make our way from there. Our own way from there. But trust me on this, please. Fine. Get on board before I change my mind. Mal ushers your group aboard the Sun Maiden as Gerhard's crew prepares to cast off. He pulls you all aside and lowers his voice. Here's the deal. No captain's going to take us to Flotilla. Fortunately, the Shimmering Isles are close by. We can take our own boat from there. And I suggest being less open about our business from now on. The Shadow Course agents could be everywhere. You there. Stop that schooner, whatever it is. Or your average clueless city guards. As Gerhard's crew unfurls the sails and raises anchor, city guards rush down the dock towards the boat. You and your companions hunker out of sight. Wait! We need to search your ship. There are known fugitives in this city who may be looking to escape by sea. Sorry, lads. It's just me and my crew on board. Clear skies to you. Gerhard tips his hat and the Sun Maiden lurches forward. Wind is snapping into the open sea. At the docks of Port Parnassus retreat into the distance, Geralt walks past your hiding place and cuts his eye toward Mal. You owe me extra for that. I always do. The Sun Maiden sets course for the Shimmering Isles, gliding effortlessly across the turquoise sea. As night falls As the night starts to fall, you and your companions head below deck. Captain Gerhard said we can all share the stateroom. I wonder what it looks like. You all squeeze inside the cramped room. Barrels and baskets clutter the walkways between a few benches and one bunk bed. You sure you heard a stateroom? He didn't say storage room, did he? Well, isn't this just cozy? Nia, Zenolia, I suggest you two get the bunks. Tyrell and I will take the floor. Tyrell crosses his arms and glowers at Mel from beside a crate. What gives you the authority to make my decisions for me? You're saying you want to kick Nia, a priestess of the light, off her bunk just so you can get a good night's sleep? Nia stops climbing halfway up the bunk. Halfway up the ladder to the top bunk, her face falling. Oh, I'll give you my bunk if you want, Tyrell. I was just going to take the top because the other acolytes never let me have it, but that wasn't what I was saying. Don't worry, Nia. The light will show a scoundrel like him the error of his ways soon enough. Tyrell pins Mal with a glare as sharp as his blade. I cannot decide whether it's you I want to throw out overboard or myself. Guys, calm down. I have the perfect solution. Tyrell can take the bench. It's not the floor and it's not the bunk, but a perfect middle ground. Tyrell stares down at the tiny bench. I won't fit. My legs are too long. Oh, look at me. I'm a fancy elf boy. I'm so tall. What? Why you? I do not. That was not. Three pokes his head out of Nia's satchel and stretches his mouth wide in a deep yawn. If you don't mind, I could use a catnap, and would much appreciate it if you quit your squabbling. He leaps up. He leaps to the top bunk, curls up, and falls right asleep. Threep has a point, you know. About sleeping? Yeah, I loved it too. No, about squabbling. We need to work on our teamwork. If we're going to travel together, that means Mal and Tyrell will have to get along. Priestess, don't rain on my parade. I'm perfectly capable of getting along with anyone who is able to act civil. Well, it'll be useful if we run into pirates at least. He's even pricklier than they are. Will we run into pirates? Traveling merchants in Riverbend told horror stories about pirates attacking ships for loot and prisoners. Zenolia, flotilla is basically a bunch of pirate ships lashed together. A city floating on the ocean. We'll probably see pirates. A silence settles over you as you all think of the quest ahead. Nia sits beside Threep, swinging her legs over the side of the bunk. We're really on our way to flotilla. Maybe even to another shard? Can you believe it? I believe in us. We might be a ragtag team, but we escaped a Shadow Duke and his evil hounds, a corrupted mayor and his guards. Don't forget we stole an onyx shard right from beneath said the Shadow Duke's nose. We met Threep, and we found ourselves safe passage over the sea. You all turned to Tyrell, whose lips twitched in amusement for just a second. You've also recruited yourselves a formidable ally, skilled in weaponry and magic. Congratulations. Hey, we're talking about teamwork, and he only complimented himself. Can he do that? Him? My catnap? Okay, we get the message. You get your shut-eye, but for the rest of us, the night's still young. Mal leads you all onto the deck, but while he pulls Nia toward a table where sailors play cards, Tyrell makes a beeline for the far railing. You follow him, mirroring his posture, as he folds his arms over the railings and gazes at the sky. He has a complex look on his face, thoughtful, even haunted. Mind if I join you? Tyrell shrugs, glancing at you from the corner of his eye, before returning to his stargazing. Can't stop you. Well, technically, you probably could. A flash of your sword, a little magic, some of that trademark scowl. You see Tyrell's lips twitch for the second time. He visibly struggles to stifle a smile. Fine, you got me. If I minded your company, I would ask you to leave. So, I suppose you're welcome to join me. If you'd enjoy looking at the sky, and if my company seems adequate. Who's this mysterious elf, and what does he really want? This is your chance to get closer to him and the truth. But I don't really want to romance him. So, we're gonna save our diamonds. It's fine. I can tell you to prefer your space. Kit, elf boy, what are you doing all the way over there? Fun's out this way. Tyrell lets out a sigh, rubbing a hand over his face. Doesn't look like I'll be getting any space as long as I'm on this ship. All the better for teamwork and bonding. Come on, let's go see what this fun is. You and Tyrell join Mal and Nia at the card table, where you're quickly embroiled in the competition. Ha! The diamond crown trumps your golden chalice every time. What in the... Are you sure he isn't counting cards? Mal gathers his newly won coin and adds it to the pile in front of him. Don't need to count, lads. I'm just gifted. A gifted liar, maybe. Now, come on. Join. At the end of the next round, Tyrell places a card on the table, then snarls as the sailor slaps one down over it with a whoop. How does your crystal guppy beat my double-edged sword? Blades cut fish. Blades rust in water. And besides, this crystal is diamond. Diamond, eh? Perfect for my pirate's chest. You slap down your card and everybody groans as you draw the pile of coin closer. Kate and I spent more than a few evenings in the taverns gambling with the locals. I know my way around a card game. That's what I'm talking about. One more round. But Tyrell and I ran out of coin. You could always bet your clothes. Zenolia, I could never. This harbor is of the finest elven craftsmen. To leave it aboard this boat would be a travesty. Excuse me? I will bet my sock. That's a start. The round ends with the largest pot so far, and once every Everyone has played their cards. Tyrio slaps down a deception of a stormy card rent by lightning. Heaven's fury. I bet that makes me the victor. Elf boy, were you playing us the whole time? I was playing the game, and I happened to be a quick learner. With a smirk, Tyrio gathers his coin, and divvies it up and returns Nia her original amount. Thank you, Tyrio. You played wonderfully. As the night wears on, Mal starts telling the tale of your escape from the Temple of Alara. Before the idiot Earthax knew what was happening, we'd escaped with the loot and plenty more besides it. Nonsense. You're talking nonsense again. There's no way you were up against the Duke of the... whatever it was you called, and survived it. I bet there never was a Duke. Never was a temple. Never was any loot, even. It's all just made-up stories. Face it, I could pull off just about anything. Isn't that right, Zenolia? That's kind of a stretch. Mal just gets lucky is all. Those thugs were 2 seconds from slitting his throat when we showed up. Hey, but that's not how I remember. I think he probably triggered the spike traps by accident. Mal's lucky we were there to distract Duke Earthax and save him. I figured his stories were all too good to be true. I've swindled kings and found lost cities, and this is the things I get? You two are buying your own drinks from now on. Suddenly a wind whips up over the deck. Clouds swirl overhead, blocking out the night sky. The ship bucks and rocks beneath you as the sea turns choppy. Gods, what's happening? Brace yourselves. Looks like one of those infamous Cartesian sea squalls. Who's supposed to be on watch? Why didn't anyone sound the storm warning? A bolt of lightning cuts across the sky, followed by a deafening clap of thunder, and then the sky opens up, dousing the deck with icy rain. A massive wave crashes into the ship, spewing water over the deck. Mal lunges forward to catch your arm as the ship lurches violently. Hang on, Kit. You good? For now. But if the ship sinks. The crew slashes around, shouting and securing cargo. The mast groans ominously as the sails whip every which way, getting tangled in the rigging. Captain, we've got to get the sails down before the wind shreds them. Then what are you doing around here like a bunch of lily-livered land lovers? What? Lovers. Somebody get up there and pull down my sails. I should take cover. You stumble back to your storage room with Neo, stomach churning as the ship tosses through massive waves. I don't feel so good. Zenolia, what should we do? try not to hurl out dinner and get tossed around like rag dolls. Maybe we should tie ourselves to the ship. Am I going to get wet? Because let me tell you, I hate getting wet. You pull yourself into your bunk and brace against the wooden cubby. Zenolia? Are we going to be okay? You eye the aging schooner as the port window flashes with a streak of lightning nearby. We should be. But if ever there was a time to pray to your light, this might be it. By the next morning, the storm has abated, leaving the water sparkling and serene. You make your way on deck, where your companions are having a tense conversation with the captain. I had no choice, lads. The ice is headed straight for the Isle. What's going on? Storm blew us off course, and Gerhard wants to just sit here, bobbing in the middle of the ocean, doing nothing. If we head toward the Shimmering Isles now, we'll be sailing right back into the storm's path. We have to wait it out until it passes. But you said it might take a few days. That's so long. Great. Now we'll be that much further behind the court. Tyrell stalks away, and Neil lets out a sigh and follows him a moment later. You look over this water at a nearby chain of tiny islands jutting around the sparkling sea. Bright sandy beaches dazzle in the sunlight as palm trees sway gently further inland. At least the scenery's nice. They call that one Forbidden Cove. Old sea dogs' legends say beautiful mermaids swim these waters, looking for victims to lure in. Mermaids? For real? I've always wanted to see one. You're welcome to head to the cove if you like. Take one of your dinghies. Our dinghies. But if you get eaten by sea monsters, I'm adding the cost of the rowboat to your bill. This Forbidden Cove sounds like my kind of place. A little bit of beauty, a little bit of danger. He winks at you, nudging your side with his elbow. And above all, fantastic company. That's assuming you'll join me, Zenolia. And I'm feeling pretty good about that assumption. What do you say? A beautiful cove, some time to unwind, a chance to see a mermaid. But I don't want to see it with Mal. Oh, but I don't want to do it with Mal. But maybe. Oh, fine. Alright, we'll do it. Don't get me wrong, I'm in this for the mermaids, but someone's gotta rescue you from the sea monsters too. Hey now, if we did come across any sea monsters, you'd be more than grateful for my help. You and Mal climb into the dinghy, and the crew lowers you down. Mal easily maneuvers the oars through the sparkling water, bringing you closer to the island. Hard to believe it was storming just a few hours ago. It's amazing how much in life can change in an instant. Tell me about it. 1 minute I'm minding my own business, getting forced to open a chest at night point. Then the next thing I know this crazy elf crashes into my life. Oh, so I save you, and I'm the crazy one? At least admit that meeting me has life-changing in a good way. Well, let's see. Since I've met you, I've been accused of murder, hunted by legendary denizens of the realm of shadows, forced to escape one of the biggest cities in this kingdom aboard a grumpy old Gerhard's schooner. Schooner. And now I'm sailing into the infamous pirate city of Flotilla, where I'm almost certain going to have my head mounted on a pike. When you put it that way, all in all, it's been one of the better weeks of my life. You both laugh as the oars glide through the calm sea. Seriously, Git, I'm sorry we had to meet the way that we did. But you're alright. And your compliments continue to be lackluster. But we'll work on that. As you approach the cove, you trail your fingers through the clear water with a contented sigh and feel something lash around your wrist. Ugh, something's got me. Right, I'm definitely falling for that. Let me guess, it's a mermaid? No, it's... The grip around your wrist tightens, and then you try to pull away. A massive tentacled creature bursts out of the water. Roar! Not a mermaid, definitely not a mermaid. Hang on, I got you. He cuts through the monster's arm and frees you, but 5 other arms grab hold of Mal and start pulling him overboard. Zenolia, do something. How do I battle 5 arms at once? I'll aim for the eyes. Let him go. You grab Mal's fallen dagger and stab it into the blood squid's bulbous eye. Grrr! And lets go of Mal as it writhes in the water. The 2 of you cling to the side of the dinghy as waves crash over you. We're gonna go overboard. Suddenly you hear a shout. It sounds not quite human, wreathed in a strange melody. Begone, foul creature of the deep! Return to where you lay to sleep. Oh my god. The mermaid swims around the blood squid, singing her strange song, and the monster stills. It bobs on the calming waters. The blood squid is stunned. Quick, frighten it off before it regains its senses. I'm on it. You draw your sword and slash it across the blood squid's bulbous head. It lets out a shriek and plunges beneath the water. Thank you, strangers. The beast was young and will be too frightened to return now. The mermaid turns toward you, hair the color of seaweed glinting in the sunlight, faint, luminescent to scales sparkling all over her body. Wow. You're a real mermaid. The legends are true. Kate would just get such a kick out of this. The mermaid smiles softly and beckons you closer. You lean toward the side of the dinghy, toward her. You're not luring me to my watery grave or anything, are you? No, I'm rewarding you for valiantly defending my cove from the foul beast. She knocks her head to the side, her lips pursed expectant. Oh, man. This is great, Kit. I think she wants a kiss. Oh, well. In that case... Wow, that's a really nice look. You cup the mermaid's cheek and lean forward. An electric charge runs through you as her soft lips meet yours, tingling every inch of your body, and she lets out a delicate purr. Her lips are cool, and she tastes like sunlight and seawater, strangely intoxicating. When she pulls away from you, she bats her eyes seductively. Are we done already? The mermaid giggles and gives you one more quick kiss. Then she slips back into the water, her tail waving a flirty farewell before she disappears out to sea. Wow, that was... wow. Over the sound of your dreamy sigh, you hear a faint clapping. You turn to find Mal watching with an amused grin. They say it's good luck to get a mermaid's kiss, and I'm not sure they meant it quite like that. But I'm not sure they meant it quite like that. Don't you get jealous now. Mal rows you up a shallow beach. How did I say bench? The water lapping gently at the shore. You look at the golden sand, the trees covering the sheer cliffs before you. It's quite beautiful. It's beautiful. And I've never seen anything like it before. Well, let's hurry and get to shore, then. He yanks off his boots, then rolls up the cuffs of his trousers before jumping out into the knee-high water. You hop out as well and help drag the boat onto shore. Sorry. Tides is headed out. We should be good to stay on the beach for a while if you want to take a break. I'd say we deserved a little relaxation after fighting off a blood squid. Mal stretches, then wades back into the water and stands facing the ocean as waves lap at his shins. Let's stay on the beach. You move back to the dry sand on the beach and sink down into it, facing the sea. Careful. Your easy pickings if any more sea monsters come prowling around. Mal turns and looks at you with a mischievous grin. Ah, but Gerhard forgot to warn you about the land monsters. You glance over your shoulder at the dense palm trees and rocky cliffs. You're making that up, right? Miles shrugs as he trudges the sand toward you. Only one way to find out, right? We sit and wait. He sinks down into the sand beside you and stretches his legs in front of him. Gotta tell you, Kit, it's just the change of scenery I needed. What? Getting attacked by a giant tentacle sea monster? A little danger beats scrubbing the decks of Gerhard's ship any day. I used to dream about this life, freedom, adventuring. Back when I was growing up in the slums of White Tower, that dreaming. It's what got me through the days. Hell, the years even. He curls his finger in the sand, reliving unspoken memories. You hesitate for a moment, but then decide to ask anyway. Mel, I want to know more about your childhood. So, you grew up in White Tower, too, just like Nia? Or does that count as asking about your past? Mel lets out an amused chuckle. How about this, Kit? I'll tell you what I want to share when I'm ready to share it. And how are you feeling now? Given that you just got a blood squid off my back, I'll say a little generous. He looks away, eyes on the horizon. Look, White Tower's a place of high highs and low lows. And we were pretty much at the bottom of the refuse heap. We? Do you mean your family? He nods slowly, lifting a hand and letting the sand stream through his fingers. It catches the light, sparkling like the ocean. I don't remember much about my mother, but just what she has. She was just that she was too thin, too tired, worked too hard, and used to tell me the most amazing stories. But when she died, I saw them for what they were. Just fairy tales. I'm so sorry. Losing a parent so young. Well, I know how awful it is. His jaw tightens, and you give him to decide whether he wants to keep talking. Finally lets out a breath. I was all my little sister had left. But I was barely old enough to take care of her as we got shuffled from orphanage to orphanage. And then, as soon as we were old enough to work, out we went, kicked out onto the street with nothing but whatever we managed to steal. It was awful. I swore that once I clawed my way out of the hell, I'd never be broke, desperate, or downtrodden again. Not to presume too much, but it seems to me like he succeeded. What did it take? He lets out a rueful chuckle. I got recruited by the Thieves Guild the minute I hit the streets. I was small and fast and made a damn fine pickpocket for a few days. A few days? What went wrong? I stole too much. Uh-huh. Sounds to me like you meant you were doing things right for a pickpocket. I decided I didn't like sharing my take with this old man who sat on his ass while us kids worked ourselves to exhaustion. I found out where the thief master stashed the goods, nicked half of it for myself, and made it halfway out of the city before I got caught. Did the thief master punish you? Nah, he promoted me. He glances down at his wrist, rubbing his hand over it distractedly as he pulled back into his memories. What about his sister? Are you still in touch with her? I checked on her now and then, and she managed to marry a respectful merchant woman when she was just starting out. Oh. They run a bakery together in one of the decent parts of town. There are honey almond sweet rolls that are to die for. It'll take you some time. I'll hold you to it. As the sun begins to set, you notice something shiny wash up beside your dinghy. Distantly, you hear the mermaid's enchanting melody. Mal, I think she left us something. You kneel down and pick up, a shell. I've never seen anything like it. Huh? I think I hear something. Yeah, it's a conch shell. Kind of. You raise the shell to your ear and hear a faint voice calling to you in a language you can't understand. What in the world? Mal, any idea what the shell is? Nope, but I bet we can find someone who's willing to pay for it. You roll your eyes, giving Mal a good-natured shove. You keep a firm grip on the shell as you push the dinghy back into the water, and Mal catches your eye. Hey, Kit, thanks for coming out here with me. This was fun. His grin is easy and carefree, luring out a returning smile of your own. It was just the adventure I needed. 2 long days pass. And finally, the Sun Maiden resumes its journey toward the Shimmering Isles. Shouldn't be more than a few days now, mates. I hope you know that what you're getting into. Nia sits on the deck with Threep in her lap, staring at the sea as it whizzes past. Do we know what we're doing? I don't know much about orcs. Nia squirts Threep behind his ears. Or scritches? Scratches? I don't know. I read a book all about orcish war strategy. Everyone speaks of them as menacing raiders, but they actually follow a strict honor code. Granted, they usually warred with other orc clans, but now they've entered Tal Kalin's united them. They seem to be attacking elsewhere. Elsewhere being places where the shards have been, and the library was any indication. Sounds like we're sure to receive a warm welcome. Suddenly horns blare out over the ship, sounding an alarm, and Gerhard roars orders to his crew. All hands on deck! To arms, you scabs! You and Nia run to the railing as Mal and Tyrell scramble up from below deck. What's happening? Another storm? No. Out there on the horizon. She swallows, pointing out into the distance. You follow her gaze to a massive ship looming out of the sea, gaining on the Sun Maiden with impossible speed. Their flag. They're flying the Kraken. Pirates, perhaps for boarding. Boarding? They're coming onto our ship? You should get below deck, priestess, and take Threep with you. This is gonna get ugly. Pirate ship cuts through the waves, streaking at you like a missile. You see orcs scrambling on the deck, preparing harpoons and drawing blades. It's one in particular that catches your eye. the wildest and most dangerous looking of them all. Oh, hey, it's Fiona. Who is that? Before you can finish the thought, the pirate vessel pulls up alongside your schooner and launches a flurry of harpoons. Gerhard bellows from the helm. Fight like your lives depend on it, you dogs! Don't give up my ship. The harpoon lines pull taut, and orcs rappel over. I did not read that properly. You don't look like a big deal. I'll make this quick. She slashes at you with a guttural war cry, and you barely duck out of the way in time. Outspar her. Not a big deal, huh? I'll make you eat those words. You draw your sword and parry her strikes with ease. With lightning-fast motions, you duel her backwards toward the ship's railing. Saltwater! Where did you learn to fight like this? Oh, a little town called Riverbend. You probably never heard of it. With a final flourish, you disarm her of both blades at once, then land a quick kick square on the stomach. She topples over the railing. Ah! The pirates and Gerhard's crew clog the deck, their shouts filling your ears, and the air, already thick with the smell of blood. Suddenly you hear a scream. Zenolia, help! A hulking orc has Nia pinned across the cabin. 3 hisses her from her shoulder, swiping at the air. Stay back! These claws could take out an eye. Looks like I found myself a damsel in distress and a little pet cat. I'll throw a plink at his head. Get away from her. You pick up a wooden piece of rubble and chuck it at the orc. It hits the back of his head and he slowly turns around. You'll regret that. He lumbers toward you, shaking the entire deck. You take a step back, but bump into a pile of barrels behind you. I should sidestep him. You're making this too easy. You wait until the orc is a few paces away, and then step to the side. He crashes into the barrels, getting buried as they topple over him. Get me out of here. You're a lot of brawn, but you don't have much brain, do you? Sailor, stand down! Gerhard's voice booms over the fight, and everyone looks over to see him in the middle of the deck. An ominous silhouette looms behind him, holding an axe to his throat. Good call, Captain, especially since I've got those trained at this little dinghy you call a ship. She points toward her ship, where a line of enormous wooden catapults are pointed right at the Sun Maiden, Mal Elbows Tyrell. So, elf boy, you got any magic that can stop a catapult? Most definitely not. Mal tosses down his blade. We surrender. As the pirate's leader grins, her crew makes its way through the ship, rounding up the Sun Maiden's modest crew and dragging you to the center of the deck. Let go of me. I can walk fine on my own. We don't mean any harm, I swear. Oof, watch the wings, you brutes. You'll regret this. I have some very powerful friends in the Royal Navy. Royal Navy? If you think they're a threat, you must know who I am. The name's Imtura, old man, and your cargo is now mine. As for the rest of you, don't make any funny moves, and I might spare your... Ow! Imtura spins around at a deafening bellow from the horns. What's your crew playing at, old man? Captain, something else is trying to board. Something heavy hits the side of the Sun Maiden with a thunk. A giant webbed hand appears on the railing, followed by another, and together they hoist up. Oh my gosh. Grobters. Curse the seas. Now of all times. Everyone, grab a weapon now. Pirates versus sailors versus Grobters. Who will win? And how we ever get to the flotilla? Oh boy. Well, there you guys have it. There's the latest chapter of Blades of Light and Shadow. If this will ever load. Peace out, guys. It's been a blast.